On the count of podcast.
Podcast!
Welcome to the Everyone's a Critic 1993 movie review podcast. I am professional film critic Sean Patrick. With me is Amy.
Professional film asshole, Amy. Thank you.
And MJ.
Hello.
MJ has a stuffed animal.
Professional possum owner, MJ. Meet Jim.
You made this?
Oh, I'm sorry, are we bothering you?
I did make this. Yeah, and there's a child. I don't want to go play with the child.
Okay.
He wants me to play with him.
But aside from that, the possum, yes, MJ had made at Build-A-Bear and is named Jim.
Yes, Jim, short for James, short for Gabriel.
There it is. There it is. Thank you.
Do not explain the reference. Don't do it.
Oh,
only let people who know the reference.
If you know it.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to tell you.
That's right.
But I just want to say, Jim does join a family of little Robbie, the cardboard stand-up, a signed picture of Jürgen Prochnow, and an actual
Original 1983.
Star Wars figure
Yeah.
that I don't remember the name of.
It's a skinny droid.
A skinny droid, and my copy of Cool, How a Kid Should Live, and it's just Bible verses for
Now,
days.
just read a passage, would you?
Well, what's today's date?
What is today's date? It is the 10th of September.
So, September 10th in Cool.
Oh, wait, what does it say on September 11th? That would be sad.
That's going too far. Oh, yeah, it says, no one is good, no one in all the world is innocent.
Oh, good God!
No fucking shit.
That's what that says.
That's what it says for September 11th. And it's a sad little white kid right
He's
there.
so sad.
Oh, my God.
It's like he saw 9/11.
Oh, listen to this. It says, everyone has turned away, all have gone wrong. No one anywhere has kept on doing what is right. Not one. All have sinned, all fall short of God's glorious ideal, yet now God declares us not guilty of offending him if we trust in Jesus Christ.
Whew.
Who then will condemn us? That's the question. And the cool thing is, like, you can actually fill it in. Like, it asks you to go ahead and fill in your thoughts for the
This
day.
is what inspired Bin Laden. Is this book?
He read Cool.
He
The way How a Kid Should Live from 1976.
The year I was born.
The year you were born. Which says a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
You didn't intend to start with 9/11 jokes?
But you did. you carried us right in. So
Like a ball rolling down a hill sometimes, you know?
Well, but the good news is, at least we got a good movie to talk about today.
Right, we do have a good movie to talk about.
Yeah.
1993, written by Quentin Tarentino, directed by Tony Scott, starring Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. Of course, we're talking about True Romance.
True Romance. I love this fucking movie so much.
It's a really great movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best Tony Scott movie. And I'm going to say that to annoy people who like Man on Fire.
Oh. I don't think I've ever seen Man on Fire.
Good.
What year was that?
I don't remember. 2003, maybe?
Thanks for being full of information.
I'm not the biggest Tony Scott fan, so I mean...
Is he related to Ridley?
Yeah, they're brothers.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're famous directing brothers.
Cool.
Yeah, isn't it great?
Sounds lovely.
Cool.
They're quite a family.
Quite a fucking film written by the greatest Mr. Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino wrote this, so you know you heard the N-word a few times.
You did, and of course it made all of us very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable, especially coming out of the mouth of Gary Oldman as Drexel. Drexel the pimp.
Oh, he was an interesting pimp.
He was hot.
Very interesting.
Amy going to reveal her fetishes now. Hang on.
I've got
Sorry.
Gary Oldman, dreadlocks, an American accent being done by a Brit.
And a big old slash with his eyeball, blinded out in one side.
Weirdly foreshadowing what happens to Christian Slater's character later in the movie.
Correct. Correct. That is true.
Yeah, I can put these filmic deals together because I'm a critic.
Do you want me to get out some of the quotes that I had for this film, or do you want me to wait?
Let's see here.
Because I feel like I should start it off with the one that we heard early on in the film.
Let's pass this along. This is written by Quentin Tarantino, restated by Amy.
It's one of the first ones that we got out of this movie. I'm pretty, but not as pretty as those titties. Said by Gary Oldman in this movie. Again, who was fucking hot in this movie?
So Gary Oldman, he goes to talk to Tony Scott, and Tony Scott says, "Well, we don't have the script locked yet. Well, here's what I can tell you: you're a white guy who thinks he's black, and you're a pimp." And Gary goes, "I'm in."
Say no more.
And then he sets about playing just like this character who is just he's I mean he is I don't know what he is. He's got dreadlocks. He thinks he's black. He's an Englishman doing an American accent that has a
black scent. It's a black scent, and it's
talking like a
offensive
stereotypical black man.
Right,
yes,
right. But we've all had friends like him, whether you want to admit it or not. And you're like, dude, just
white friends
just talk,
specifically.
Yeah, just be white. Come on.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it.
Please,
but
don't do that.
It didn't change how hot he was.
And just revealing weird fetishes.
Tell me.
Very into him.
I regret nothing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments, though, and sadly, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson was not in this film long enough.
He was there for Sam, we need somebody to come in and start talking about eating pussy and eating ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got you.
You know?
Enthusiastically.
Shit, I'll do both of them right now. just, and he looked great. He sounded great, and then he's fucking dead.
Fucking dead.
Right away.
Gary Oldman just shoots him so quickly.
So weird. And was that Charlie Murphy? Because that looked like Charlie Murphy in it.
I don't know
who that other guy was.
Murphy.
I thought it was Charlie Murphy.
But Gary Oldman just shoots him, and you think, he walks in like he's an important character. Like he is dressed to the nines.
Right.
He looks great. He's got this amazing suit on. He's just looks like $1 million goddamn bucks.
Ah, and then we fucking shoot him right in the chest.
He's done, just like that. He's just gone. It's so crazy.
But that's the thing.
He's not Samuel L. Jackson yet in 1993.
That's true. Yeah, give him one more year, and then we've got everything.
Then he'll start to emerge. But
this cast, fucking stellar.
There's a lot of people in this movie.
Holy shit. People, I remember watching this movie. I did not remember Brad Pitt as Floyd. Did not remember that. I must have just blocked that out.
You mean the greatest character in True Romance? Floyd?
The one that we wish actually had his own movie? Floyd. He would have one of the greatest stoner films of the 90s if he just would have had Floyd in the film. Written by Quentin Tarantino.
It's just Floyd just being extra honest to everyone he sees.
And friendly.
I'm gonna tell everybody everything.
With a smile on his face. I love that. The only time he seemed sad was when he was told not to steal a beer out of the fridge and he took it anyway. It's like, get more beer,
and cleaning products.
And cleaning products.
What is he cleaning? What do you think?
Well, to remind you, he doesn't have a bong. He's actually smoking pot out of a honey container of teddy bear. Honey bear.
The plot of True Romance is such that Alabama, who is a sex worker, she gets hired to go have sex with Clarence. She becomes sort of his dream girl by showing up at his Sonny Chiba movie festival at his hat.
Yeah.
And drops popcorn on his head, and then and it's all too good to be true. And we know this, and I think Clarence does too. I think he knows that this is all way too good to be true.
Yeah.
This woman does not enjoy the movies I enjoy. She's not interested in hearing me talk about this Nick Fury comic that I'm telling her about. She has no interest in any of this.
Right.
But she's playing along so well. And then, he is not even fussed a moment when she tells him, I was hired by your boss to have sex with you on your birthday.
No, he was pretty cool with that, actually.
He was totally cool with it. It's all right,
well.
Because after having sex with him, now she loves him. She's in love, and I guess I am too. Then
that's misleading. It's you got me a cameo for my birthday once, but if you sent me a sex worker, and then they didn't love me the way that Patricia Arquette loved Christian, I'd be pretty pissed. It's I've seen this in movies, so I know we're gonna fall in love now.
She's a manic pixie dream sex worker.
She is. For all of us, really. I'm not discriminatory. I'm thrilled. Because I love her in this movie because there is something very innocent, very sweet about her.
Yeah. Against
the backdrop of all this other shit. And we'll get there. But man, some of the brutalest shit happens to her. She handles it with great aplomb, really.
So she confesses that she's in love with him after one night, and he's like in love with her. So they're going to get married immediately within 24 hours of meeting each other.
Hours.
They are married.
Yep.
And she tells him, about her pimp, Drexel.
Yep.
And so he just goes there to kill Drexel. Just goes to there. I'm going to go get your stuff, and I'm going to take this gun, and I'm going to kill Drexel by shooting him in the penis.
But here's why. Because Elvis told him to.
Elvis told him to. And Elvis talks to him a lot in the bathroom.
Right.
Yeah. Anytime he's peeing, he's talking to Elvis.
It's weird.
Val Kilmer as Elvis.
Val Kilmer. And,
yes.
And again, we don't really get to see Val Kilmer's face.
There's a reason for that.
Why?
They were concerned about being sued by Elvis Presley's estate.
Oh, I got you.
So he's not credited as Elvis in the credits. He's credited as mentor.
Oh.
But they call him Elvis.
They do.
And he's wearing that lame jacket.
Did they actually call him Elvis? I know he talks about Elvis a few times. And he talks about how Christian Slater actually says at the top of the movie, I would have sex with Elvis.
Which, yeah.
Yeah.
And he has that in common with a lady, too. Like, I like that was kind of like a little
we're talking young Elvis, like 50s Elvis, like,
Nope, 1977 Elvis.
No.
I like my man looking like they were on drugs and about to die on a toilet. That's my kind of Elvis.
The calendar girl era Elvis.
Oh, let's make that movie. We're awful people. God bless. So I mean, but essentially that's kind of what starts this whole thing is that he kills Drexel. They have to get the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm. And he asks for Alabama's things, and this other sex worker who's there who just doesn't want to get shot hands him a full suitcase full of cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been an innocent thing, though.
$1.2 million worth of cocaine.
But
thinking, I guess that's Alabama's stuff.
But what if they would have gotten the suitcase with her stuff in it? It would have taken the story on a completely different trajectory.
Well,
because they wouldn't have been looking for him, because they wouldn't have really needed to. I mean,
they would have gone and done laundry.
Yeah, nobody really cared what happened to Drexel. Drexel is just gone. Like, here's Gary Oldman, delivering this iconic performance, and then he's just shot in the dick and he's done for. His scene is over. His whole thing. And he's talked about this being his favorite character.
Because he's hot in it. That's why.
He said this and like Leon the Professional are like his two favorite roles ever. And he's in this movie for what, like 5 minutes at most?
Not long enough.
Not.
So Gary Oldman gets this job, and he's basically just been told you're a white guy who talks in a stereotypical black accent, which again, all of this is very problematic. But he gets that. He then goes out of his way to have the wig maker for his previous film, Dracula, make him the dreadlock wig. And he comes up with the eye, which he also got from Dracula. He came up with the teeth. That was all him. None of that was waiting for him when he got to the set. That was just him showing up like that.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Wow.
I love him so fucking much, man. The next picture we have is going to be
something to drink. You're really thirsty.
I have a thing for hot guys across the pond. It's not my fault. I don't care how they look. I'm so not picky.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So now we're on the run.
Yeah, they go on the run
to
Los Angeles because Clarence has a buddy named Dick, who's an actor. Michael Rappaport.
Who we love. We love Michael Rappaport. to this day, is still one of those people with that kind of like a black scent thing. Like, he still does that.
But it's him though.
It's very much
naturally him.
It's
He's
very
just,
much him.
Yeah.
But we loved him. In this movie, he's so sweet.
He's
I
such
feel
a
so bad
sweetheart.
for him in this movie.
I thought for sure he was getting rejected by T.J. Hooker.
Exactly. Get him,
T.J. Hooker, they were rebooting T.J. Hooker. To be clear, this is not a movie that was set in 1982. He was auditioning for a T.J. Hooker reboot.
Can we talk about that for a minute? Because I don't know if you noticed this. I don't know if you noticed this. But when the movie first started, and again, I probably watched this in 94. So I have, or 93. I have no real, like, major memory other than I thought that I liked it back then. But I was confused as to the time period because they both dressed like it was the 50s when we first meet them.
Right.
You know, and the even that first girl that he meets looks like she's trying to be Marilyn Monroe, kind of.
Yeah.
And then, like, over time, you're like, okay, so, no, it's now? No, it might be the 80s. Nope,
No,
it's now?
It's now. Yeah.
You know?
It's 1993.
I was just confused by that.
Yeah. It is a little confounding.
Yeah.
To be sure. And I'm sure there's somebody out there making notes like, this was actually could have been set in 1982 because of this. Like, okay,
That's why
sure.
I fucking hate this podcast. Oh, can I have the cunt list?
Oh, you have to adding a name?
Well, we already have Daddy on there, so it's not over there.
It needs to be like doubled on the thing after this movie.
A lot of people saying the word daddy.
Well, it was mainly Christian Slater calling his dad, by the way, who was
Dennis Hopper. Boiling Point's Dennis Hopper.
Boiling Point star Dennis Hopper. He kept calling, hey, Daddy. Hey, Daddy. And that was irritating. But again, the term daddy is on the
There is a
list.
daddy cutoff, guys. It's about when you're 10 years old, the word daddy needs to leave your vocabulary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Necessary.
Yeah.
And
I don't.
it's-
Like, what age do you think?
I don't know.
Cut off Daddy?
10.
5.
I thought 10's fine.
10's fine.
If you're a 10-year-old girl and you're calling your dad daddy, I think that's fine.
Not these days. Not when there's child sex trafficking.
Ah.
I would just maybe just say Dad or Papa.
You dad is a development. It comes along. I think 10 years old is fine. I wouldn't be bothered by
Well, we're gonna gatekeep that from now on.
that.
No, I forgot when we saw the
credits?
the credits. Then of course we saw Harvey fucking Weinstein. And I
Yeah.
can't believe he wasn't on my list already. But now he is. Violation being horrendous.
Yeah,
and we hate
being
you.
absolutely awful.
Yep. So, outside of that, this might be the first movie where we didn't have, like, several.
Certainly not a
fronts.
lengthy cut list.
No.
Maybe
Don't
Hans
worry.
Zimmer's score, maybe.
Hans Zimmer's, what the fuck? And I still stand by the fact that Tarantino or whoever, you know, like, when they were talking about this film, like Tony Scott, like, maybe they discussed it. It's like, it's kind of a juxtaposition of what we're watching.
See, Tarantino finished the script, and once the script was done, he fucked off. Yeah, he wanted, because he didn't want to interrupt Tony Scott's vision of it.
This is Tony Scott's
He was
fault.
like, you know, afterwards, after he saw it, he was like, "There's a couple things I wouldn't have done, like the ending, but he likes the movie, he appreciates the movie. There are just things that he doesn't like about it that he wouldn't have done." And that's all that that's really much of what he said about it.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's ever I don't know if anybody's commented about the choice that Hans Zimmer made.
Well, that's the
Anytime they're doing a romantic scene between Alabama and Clarence, there's this weird, like, Kenny G. Enya score going on.
But then you have like more of a kind of a Caribbean steel drum thing happening.
So strange.
Yeah.
It's Sail Away by Enya, essentially.
In a few spots. Which, I mean, that would make the movie funnier.
Or like Gregorian chants. Is it intended as an ironic joke? I don't understand.
Well, and then, okay, so again, I talked about the soundtracks. and Hans Zimmer, brilliant.
He's brilliant for the most part.
But this,
it's like
it
suddenly
didn't make sense. It
suddenly
didn't feel good.
we flipped over from like a 50s radio stations playing like some rousing guitar riffs
Some
To-
new age.
to like a
Tuck
KR
and
VR,
Patty.
K River,
Right. I'm telling you.
right on the river.
Some,
Now
some,
here's
some Year
Hans-
of the Cat with
Here's
Al Stewart.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh no.
Sail away,
Oh
sail.
God, no.
That's what it sounds like.
It's not what it sounded like.
It's exactly what it sounded like.
It was Caribbean steel drum in most of it. But I mean, it never seemed to fit especially the
The
tone.
rest of the movie,
Yeah, like
which I guess is a juxtaposition, but it was not in my opinion, not my favorite juxtaposition. I wasn't feeling the vibe.
No,
The vibe it felt weird.
they were
For
only,
what we just watched them have like hardcore sex
Mhm.
and then kill a guy by shooting him in the dick.
Mhm.
You
so
know,
there's that lighthearted Caribbean steel drums. Like,
suddenly,
yeah.
suddenly this easy listening score comes in. I'm like, what is happening here?
It's new age. It's world music. But I mean, at least like, okay, and again, I always say '90s soundtracks are some of the best
Mhm.
that are out there. This one was so random because you got like John Waite at the beginning of it. You've got a Charles and Eddie song in there,
Do you know what the most expensive thing in the movie was?
what?
So there's a scene with Floyd
Yeah.
where he's being interrogated. I think it was the last time they came in
Well,
to
that was
confirm.
Outshined by Soundgarden.
Yeah, that was the most expensive thing in this entire
Was it
movie. Was
really?
getting outshined by Soundgarden.
Well, and at that point, that song was a hit. So I mean, that was, but it's perfect for Floyd's scene. Like he looked like he listened to Soundgarden back then. But yeah, I mean, but then you have like
Wouldn't it
random.
be great? I got a great headcanon for this. Brad Pitt and Michael Rappaport are just living together, and it's like, I can't get Brad to leave. He won't leave. Can he just be in the movie? Fine. Just tell him to stay on the couch or something. I don't know.
We're gonna go with that headcanon. We're gonna keep that one because I like that. I think that's perfect.
Brad just sort of showed up on set and
Wouldn't leave.
Yeah, we just started calling him Floyd, and he was like, "Hey, what's up?"
And then we had to credit him because SAG called. Yeah. Okay, so the music again. There's a Shelby Lynn song in there. If you know who Shelby Lynn is, she's awesome, and I love her. So that was like the one little treat. There was a Chris Isaak song, but what really it kind of bummed me out that this didn't stand out like the soundtracks that I normally like in '90s films.
There just seems to be a more appropriate way to score a movie like this, and if
Agreed.
that was intended as like a joke or something, it didn't land.
Yeah. Or we're just stupid.
Maybe. There's that too.
Not you. You wouldn't.
I know it's blasphemy to criticize anything about True Romance. I understand. I get it. Like a lot of dude bros listening going, you can't talk about True Romance like that. It's a good movie, guys. It's a good movie. Okay, relax.
And also, we don't give a fuck about dude bros on this show.
No.
Hang on.
we
We're
really
gonna get to the Sicilian scene, okay? We're gonna get there. All right.
Oh God. That's too close to the front there, that one.
So, yeah, Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette are escaping town after having gotten the cocaine and killed Drexel by shooting him in the dick, which another detail about this movie was that Gary Oldman had his 70-year-old mother on set every day he was there.
It's her favorite movie, isn't it?
It's Tarantino's
Oh,
mom's
it's
favorite
Tarantino's
movie.
mom's favorite movie. Well, I mean,
It could be Gary Oldman's mom's favorite movie.
It probably was, I would assume. I mean, let's be honest. Like, if that were me, I would have had mom on set with me. Absolutely.
If I was getting shot in the dick in a movie, I'd be like, Mom, can you be there? Please?
I need you for this.
They're going to
Mom.
shoot me in the dick.
Is it weird to say mommy?
Yes, absolutely.
Mommy is also right there next to Daddy. Yeah.
But
They exist together.
our grandfather used to call our grandmother.
Yeah,
mommy.
that's fucking weird. That is fucking weird.
So
Don't.
terrible.
Not okay.
So terrible.
Ronald Reagan used to call Nancy mommy.
Mommy.
Oh,
that's
no.
weird.
That is your wife, sir. Sir, that is your wife.
If I can make it uncomfortable, I'm going to. That's my
What?
job.
What is that? We just all accepted that
I know.
as a culture. We just all were like, that's okay. He's calling his wife mommy. Sure.
Fine.
Whatever. Yeah.
No. The answer is no.
Is it?
No, the answer is
Freud just sitting in the corner,
Fuck
just
no.
taking copious notes here.
Screw you guys. It's funny.
Oh my god.
Is it?
It's so weird.
Um,
Yeah, so they go.
Moving
So
on.
they've killed Drexel and his friend. They've taken the cocaine. They go see Dennis Hopper, who is Boiling Point's Dennis Hopper.
yes. Who plays Daddy?
Plays the dad to Untamed Hearts Christian Slater.
Our favorite podcast episode.
I wonder if he still has. Do you think he still has the baboon heart
I
in this movie?
yeah.
Yes,
I think that's his motivation.
Absolutely. He's really struggling, but he's.
Oh, wait, he died at the end of that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did, but that's okay. But he brought the heart with him anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
It got moved into him.
That's right.
It went to his.
He faked
twin
his death
brother.
so he could move to Detroit and watch Sonny Chiba movies.
Can
That's
you
the
blame
new,
him?
the new headcanon.
That's what happened.
Although you're leaving behind Marissa Tomei. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, not cool. But
No, so they go see Dennis Hopper and they tell him what's going on, and he
Mhm.
tells them that nobody's looking for you because nobody liked Drexel, and he was probably killed by his bosses. So whatever, you're good.
right.
Somehow, through absolutely no explanation whatsoever, Christopher Walken knows all about this.
Yes.
I don't know how he
And
knows
again,
everything
this
about
is his
this.
one
but
scene in
yeah.
this film as well.
he's only in one scene.
Mm-hmm.
Confusing bit. Christopher Walken is not the head of the group.
Yeah.
He reports to somebody else, but they call him Don. That confused me.
Me
But also,
too.
why have the extra character that you don't even show in the movie?
So he's
why
the
is
Metatron to God. He's the voice of God. Actually, Christopher Walken would be kind of a cool voice of God, don't you think?
I mean, yeah,
I
kind
mean, although he'd terrify the fuck out of you. Because that little speech that he gives in this one, I mean, you're just...
yeah,
ugh.
just going on, going right at Dennis Hopper, and
Yeah.
Dennis Hopper giving right back with the Sicilian origin story, which is
Oh.
apparently based in some sort of reality.
So he was asking to die, basically.
Yeah, basically at that point he knew this. Like he knew Christopher Walken was there. He's gonna have his guys kill him probably. But
Well, and then shout out R.I.P. to James Gandolfini in this too, as well, because he had a couple
yeah,
scenes.
well
in this.
he's in. He shows up like near the end of that scene, and then he takes over the role that Walken is essentially playing.
Right.
He takes
exactly.
that role and goes to Los Angeles with it.
And then Walken couldn't be fucked to go to Los Angeles. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
I did my one scene. I'm staying in Detroit.
It says here in my contract that I'd get to stand. Who would want to stand
that
in
mob town, Detroit. You know, the big mob town. I love this movie. I'm just saying.
I do too. But
There are things.
there are some
you know.
things.
This
that,
is Tony Scott, not Quentin Tarantino.
right.
Then
Precisely.
that can be very obvious at certain points.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Tarantino thinks about these things. Tony Scott does not.
Does not.
So they go to Los Angeles. So the mobsters follow them. They've got the cocaine, so they're trying to get rid of it. They contact Dick because he's an actor in Los Angeles who might know somebody who can want to buy like $2.1 million, $1.2 million worth of cocaine.
Right. For the low price of $200,000, basically.
Yeah.
You know, because he just wants to offload it. Really.
Yeah, they
That's
just really want to
it.
get rid of it. They're not drug dealers because they don't have any idea what to do with drugs at all.
Well, and I like that he's honest about that too. At one point, like he
Yeah.
actually tells the guy, he's like, "I don't know what the
Over
fuck
and
I'm
over
doing."
again, like just immediately admits to their plan like multiple times
Right. Right.
after executing the plan. Like he admits to Drexel he's there to kill him.
Right.
A very honest kind of criminal.
Well, I think that's what I couldn't understand is like,
give me a psychological breakdown of Clarence. Like, what is Clarence? Like, he works at a comic book shop.
right?
He likes Sonny Chiba movies.
But then all of a sudden,
He's lonely.
He's
he
lonely.
wants to kill someone. It's very
But-
0 to 100.
It really is.
But that's Elvis's fault, though. Right?
So what is Elvis? Where did he come from? And is
Yeah.
And you're right. And yeah, 0 to 100 because there are already psychological issues.
Yeah.
He also has half a cup of sugar with his coffee, so he's
yeah.
off the fucking rails anyway.
He's very
Yeah. But it's so weird because when you start off with this film, he's so unassuming. Like, you don't... we really took it
He's
and
a
just
kind of an
drove into the wall.
like an incel at the start.
Yeah.
He's giving off that vibe. He starts this conversation with the woman at the bar, and she just like could not be fucked. Like she,
No.
No, I'm not going to go watch karate movies with you.
Three of them.
3 of them.
in a row.
There's some things you can tell came directly from Tarantino's brain. The idea that a man would invite a woman to go see 3 karate movies with him.
Wait, is
When
Tarantino the incel?
Tarantino has stated that this was his most autobiographical movie.
How many people has he killed, though? Makes you wonder.
That part, no. But everything about Clarence, like his obsession with Elvis and his loneliness
Comic
and
books.
nerdiness,
Yep.
like that's all Tarantino.
That's true.
Clarence is Tarantino. And then when the violence starts, it's kind of what Tarantino wishes he could do in a situation like that.
So in Alabama's character, perhaps he was already envisioning one day working with Uma Thurman, and like that.
She was considered for this role.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Well,
Jennifer
but
Jason Leigh turned it down.
And Oldman probably didn't want to work with her because they'd just been divorced a couple years
Oh,
prior
really?
to that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That would make sense. But man, I mean, you're Drexel, dude. You're fine. You're gonna get shot in the dick anyway. But I mean, I love Patricia Arquette, and I thought she was fantastic in this. And can we speed up and get to that scene that I was talking about? The most brutal fucking beatdown I've ever seen a woman get.
That is, yeah.
Ooh.
And this is where Fuzzy was not excited.
No, I couldn't. I absolutely hated every second of that scene. I'm not gonna lie.
So-
The rest of the film was fine, but that was the worst. One of the worst scenes I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama
I cannot handle
and Clarence are staying at this hotel. Floyd has told the bad guy, Gandolfini, where they're at, because Floyd always tells the truth.
He does, bless his heart.
Yeah.
Gandolfini's waiting for them when she gets there. Clarence goes to get food. She walks into the hotel room. Gandolfini is there with a shotgun. He wants the cocaine. He starts beating the crap out of her, and it gets nasty.
Of course, after she
Very
lies
quickly.
to him, saying like, "Oh, that's not me. I don't know who you're talking about." But what blew my mind with her is how unafraid she was. Like, she just kept egging him on, flipping him off, laughing at him. And I'm like, "You're fucking crazy too, bitch." I mean, you just...
She married a man after a day.
After a day.
After having worked as a sex worker for 4 days.
Getting really involved there.
What was she doing before that? She had, like, no life prior to, like, she came into being 4 days ago as this innocent angel on Earth who meets Drexel and is turned into a sex worker, has sex with 3 guys, and then meets Christian Slater, marries him, goes on the run.
Yeah. And then just fucks off. I mean, I think she explained in the beginning that she was from Florida.
Tallahassee,
Florida, yeah. With the name of Alabama from Tallahassee, Florida.
It is such a strange.
It's such a Florida upbringing. It's such a perfectly Florida story.
It really,
actually.
yeah, the Florida woman. Of the will you say what it was about? I mean, not just the brutal beatdown, but what was it specifically that bothered you?
So there was a scene where, or like this part of the scene, she got thrown into the shower, and it was broken glass everywhere. And for a second, I thought she was going to get hit into the glass, and the thought of that freaked me out so much that I nearly had a episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was a visceral reaction.
It was the look on your face when she first got pushed through those glass doors.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, and I could tell
not a
right
fan.
away.
I can't handle sharp things. I can handle gunshots. I can handle a bunch of bullet wounds. I cannot handle cutting or any sort of like the red. No, I can't.
Yeah.
Because that was what you were saying, because you just watched Pulp Fiction. So, like, and to you, like, comparatively,
that I could handle. It was like I couldn't handle the parts where it was needles. That was, I had to close my eyes.
that's some of the best parts. Are you kidding?
And with Thurman getting stabbed in the chest.
Right.
Oh, I had to take my glasses off and do that. No.
Oh.
Ah.
I mean, would you? I think I know how Sean feels about this, but I could be wrong. How would you rate it? Like True Romance to Pulp Fiction, which one would you say, oh, I'd go back and watch that one again?
I would watch Pulp Fiction again.
Again?
Yeah.
Just sheerly because
It's a way better
watch
movie.
it. I mean, it is. But I still liked this movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I like this movie.
But I think, Pulp Fiction, or actually, even, Jackie Brown, I think that those kinds of movies I actually like better than this. But I do like this movie.
I like actual Tarantino versus Tarantino light.
Diet Tarantino.
This is Diet Tarantino.
Sugar-free Tarantino. Oh, I know, actually. This is not
Too much
sugar-free.
sugar in Tarantino.
I only
Yeah.
like it when the spoon stands up.
He did say that. Oh, speaking of,
Yes.
I had a couple more quotes. If
Oh,
you
you
don't
got more
mind.
quotes. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
but they came by so fast. Like I could barely get them down.
He puts so much sugar in his coffee, it's ridiculous.
You must have thought it was White Boy Day.
Oh, yeah.
Gary Oldman said that to Christian Slater. Gary, what day do you think it is? And then one of my favorite lines. Do I look like a blonde with big tits and an ass that tastes like French vanilla ice cream?
That's Christian Slater talking to Bronson Pinchot.
Balky, in case you don't know, from Perfect Strangers. He came all the way from Mypos.
to vomit on himself.
To vomit on himself, and then to get his ass shot up.
So
Oh,
much. He took
God.
so many bullets, did Elliot.
He did, but I kind of actually felt bad for him in a way, even though, he's
That's
pretty much a chode.
He had the
but-
funniest scene, though, where he's getting pulled over by a cop, and he's trying to get his girlfriend, who was blowing him at the time, to hide his coke for him. And she's like,
She's like,
no, fuck
"No,
you.
Fuck
No.
you.
I don't want your coke. No, I'm not going to do that.
And he called her a couple names, and then she went to go punch him and punch the cocaine all over his face.
All over his face in
Oh,
front of the
it
cop. Just
And then the cop walks up, and it's just all white.
full on white face. Just
Why the white face?
oh, that's the setup to get the cops involved in L.A.
Yeah.
Were you baking in here?
in your Corvette Stingray convertible.
Officer, you don't understand. I'm a clown.
The makeup wouldn't come off. I was having some issues.
But I kept thinking, it's like, and again, like, because I have such a weird kind of an OCD with films. Like, if you had that much cocaine on you, some of it went up his nose.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you'd be higher than a fucking kite, right?
Well, he seemed a little.
He did. Well, yeah, he was sweating kind of like Hard Rock Nick. I mean,
He's
gonna
a little
kill
bit
somebody.
More like looser, like.
yeah.
ah.
Yeah. Well, and that's why he agrees to be wired,
Yeah.
so we can get to the main point, the main ending.
Yeah,
of
the
this film.
ultimate violent end of this film. Saul Rubinek
Who I
showing up
love.
as a movie producer who wants to buy the cocaine
Mm-hmm.
from Clarence and Alabama. And Saul Rubinek did what has been described by most inside Hollywood as a perfect impression of Joel Silver.
You're shitting me. That makes sense. Like even some of the ways
Joel
that he
Silver
came
is like
off.
a famous movie producer. He's produced for years.
Wow.
He's known as a bully and an asshole. Everybody fucking hates him.
Yeah, nobody likes
And he
him.
always made hit movies, so he got carte blanche to do where the fuck you wanted. So, but get this. This is what Saul Rubinek said. He said, "I didn't know Joel Silver when I made this movie. I just knew the character was an asshole, so I played him as an asshole."
Womp womp. That's fucking
Oh my God.
funny.
That's great.
Holy shit. And he does. I mean, he's got. I love that. One of my favorite things about in this movie was that when they're trying to have the conversation about the cocaine over the phone, they do it like they're doing a movie pitch meeting, but they're talking about Dr. Zhivago,
Yeah,
as Dr. Zhivago is the cocaine.
yeah.
And I love that little interchange because that sounded very Tarantino to me. Like he would do something like that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I dug that.
So you've got the mobsters showing up at the hotel because
Mhm.
Floyd directed them there. You've got the cops already there with Elliot.
Right?
And then, of course, you've got Alabama and Clarence and Dick just wandering in. Hey, guys, we got cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just the innocent beauty that they are.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, Clarence, yeah, he goes and he kills drug dealers and shoots Drexel in the dick. But overall, he's pretty much just as much of an innocent as Alabama is, really.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you're
Dick
still
is the most
terrified
innocent
by
of them all.
Poor Dick.
He's just poor innocent Dick.
He didn't mean
Poor
to get
innocent
into
dick.
any of it. He just wanted to be an actor.
He just wanted to be an actor.
He just wanted to help his friend. He was just helping his friend move a bunch of cocaine.
I mean,
First he was very against it, and he was
Yeah.
like, I can't do this. Okay, fine, I'll do
All
this.
right.
but he is that kind of friend that you want, where if you had to bury a body, that's the one you call.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that.
Yeah. I'm glad we got closure on T.J. Hooker.
I'm glad we did too.
that he got the part.
Well, right, because he had that, and like what was terrifying, we're like, he's not going to make that audition. We were
I thought
so
for sure he was
scared.
going to die. Yeah.
And luckily that wasn't.
But like
the
all
case.
these super innocent people get away, and all the bad guys pretty much die aside from Walken.
Yeah, and it gives us a kind of like, to me, a satisfying ending. But I am curious now. I need to read what Tarantino's treatment was.
Yeah, well, Tarantino felt that Clarence should die. That was the main thing. Is that Clarence was going to die at the end.
Oh wow!
So Clarence gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
At the end, and it just sort of blinds him. Like I guess he just got kind of like in the orbital bone, maybe
Right.
like grazed his eye, so he's got
He
like
gets to
a
wear an eye patch.
eye patch. And,
Right.
yeah, but apparently, yeah, Clarence was supposed to die in Tarantino's version.
I'm glad that he didn't in this.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
But according to Tony Scott, he fell in love with these two characters, and he thought that he wasn't like, people have accused him of commercializing this, and Tarantino even said to him like, you don't commercialize it, give it the true ending, give it the ending it deserves, and he said no, actually it's not commercial, it's not anything about studio mandates. I just fell in love with these characters, and I don't want them to die.
I get that. I dig that.
I really appreciate that,
Yeah.
actually. Like,
Because we've seen movies where it's just like, and then the ending comes and you're so sad at the end because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so everybody's dead. Well, what was the point? This sucks.
Yeah,
It's kind of nice to
This
see them
is-
romping on the beach at the end.
this is hopeful.
Yeah. With their little boy Elvis. Which I love.
and like, it didn't feel too, like,
Forced.
yeah, it really did not feel forced,
Mm-mm.
because they just escaped.
And
And they're not any better for it, really.
Mm-mm.
They just escaped.
But you could tell, like, they really did love each other.
Yeah.
Like, they were really in love for such a short fucking period of time.
But somehow it worked,
It
because
worked.
I mean, they lived long enough to have a child together and still be in love after the child is like 2, and that's impressive.
And I bought the chemistry.
Yeah.
They made sense together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we fucking liked it.
when you drill down to it on a level of like metaphor, it's like innocent people surviving in a very corrupt, cruel, angry world,
Right.
and celebrating a little bit of naive innocence in the face of a lot of criminal nonsense.
100%. Yeah.
So in that way, that is a very satisfying way
Yes.
to end this movie.
I agree.
I mean, to describe Clarence as innocent, I don't know. He shoots a guy in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was Drexel.
Then multiple times in the head. But yeah, it's Drexel.
It was
So like,
Drexel.
it's Gary Oldman committing a filmic hate crime. So I mean, it's kind of
True.
okay.
He's still
Yeah.
hot, though. I'm going to make him my background. Sorry, Robbie. Robbie's going to go away. It's just going to be Drexel up there.
Jesus
I'm not going to do that.
I think Robbie would be very offended.
Robbie
by
would be
that.
very offended. I can't do that to him.
In a way, when you think about this, it's like there's a sort of a Wizard of Oz kind of vibe where
Mhm.
like all these bad things are happening, and then you've got these 4 innocents. You've got Floyd, you've got Alabama, you've got Clarence and Dick.
Yeah. Oh, they're off to see the wizard. The wonderful Wizard of
I can
Woe.
reduce every movie to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
That just made me remember the Tin Man from last night. Tin Man. He said he was
Oh.
Are you referencing something?
Yeah. We watched a movie last night that made us both happy.
And that was
Yeah, and well, it's a Robbie Sheehan movie called The Road Within, where he actually
Oh my
plays a kid who has Tourette's. And one of his ticks was he just got out of the car and he's like, the Tin Man. Like, what did he say? Now I forget what he said. It was something the Tin Man.
Something with Tin Man.
And it was lovely. And we both slept better because it was a happy ending. So,
it was a nice movie. It was very comforting.
it was a comfort movie. It's like Chicken Soup for the Soul, only not as stupid like the books are, you know.
So you didn't find True Romance comforting?
No. I'm not going to get this one out when it's a cozy winter day and I just want some cocoa.
Let me put it like this: you're a sex worker who just escaped after 4 days of being a sex worker.
Finally.
And you've fallen in love with Robert Sheehan, and then he's gone and killed your the drug dealer and your pimp by shooting him in the dick.
And to that I say thank you.
Is that the most romantic thing that's ever happened?
Fuck yeah, if it's Robbie Sheehan, yeah. Although, I don't think Robbie wants to shoot anybody, but he might if Elvis is talking to him.
I would hope Elvis isn't talking to him. Well, actually, he could, because, you know, in so many of the movies, he talks to the dead.
He talks to the dead, so, I mean, that does make sense, yeah. Oh, there's a fanfic waiting to be written. I'm never going to meet Robbie Sheehan, you guys, am I? He's never going to want to talk to me.
let's hope that never happens.
No! For his sake.
For his sake. Oh my god. You just imagine the cringe factor.
Oh god. I would shoot myself. That's none of my business. He's none of my business. Except in the way he is here. That's it. Does every podcast get turned back to little Robbie Sheehan? I don't know. He is our mascot, so there's that. What else do you have to say?
You know, it's a really good movie. Is it the best movie of 1993? No, it's probably not. But I'm trying to remember. I always tend to forget what we watched that was any good.
Okay.
Because there's so much crap that we watch. Like,
most of it is crap.
Yeah.
Loaded Weapon not being one of those.
Yeah, that was a good one. Robin Hood Men in Tights is an exceptional film.
Absolutely.
The
Firm.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Yep.
We've seen good movies.
I mean, but we say that so hesitantly because most of the movies we've seen have been fucking shit.
Dave was a great movie.
Dave.
Dave was amazing.
Is Dave the best movie of 1993?
I think so far Dave is.
I think, yeah, that would just Dave.
Yeah.
It's just Dave.
It's just Dave.
Dave is wonderful.
Yep.
I would happily stand by Dave. Obviously, like for me, I mean, Army of Darkness, Crying Game.
Right. Oh God, Crying Game. Yeah, but these aren't ones that are the feel good or like.
And I still have an affinity for Jurassic Park, even though you two don't.
I fucking hate that fucking movie. Fuck Jurassic Park.
I like the version with the kittens.
That one's better. That's just better.
Yeah. But when you watch crap like Surf Ninjas and Calendar Girl,
Couldn't even do Surf Ninjas.
These movies physically hurt us.
Yes.
I didn't get out of the toilet for days after Surf Ninjas. Which one physically hurt you the most? Was it Hexed?
Hexed, yeah, probably Hexed.
Yeah. Our Body of Evidence.
Body of Evidence.
I don't think so. Not with Jurgen in it.
Was this the least sweaty movie?
Oh my God! I didn't even comment. No, it was not because if you looked at Bronson Pinchot, there was a lot of sweat.
But he was covered in coke.
That's true. But he was very moist. But I will say, not as moist as anyone in Sliver.
Oh my God!
You know, so
always like they walked out of a shower in that movie.
Abnormally large penis. God damn. I think, not to make light of PTSD, but I feel like there's a little bit in all of us because of some of these movies. I really do.
You are forever changed. You have been forever changed.
I have.
Your life will never be the same.
No.
I would like to say I wish I could take it away for you, but I don't want to say that. I kind of like you living with this. Because we did.
Do you like True Romance? Yes or no?
I don't know if there's a yes or no answer. There's I like parts of it. I like parts of it.
And would you say the ending was the best part?
Yes. Yeah. just them on the beach. It was nice. It was it was calming after the big shootout.
I don't love Tony Scott stylistically. Like I find it very bombastic, and I think he kind of delights in sort of disconnects like this, like the score, where he'll really calm things down and quiet, and then everything explodes in horrific violence, and then calm and quiet, and then that is not a style that I favor.
Right.
I also I find that his idea of dialogue, trying to do Tarantino's dialogue, I don't think quite works. It feels very obvious when Tarantino is talking,
yeah,
as opposed to when Tony Scott is talking.
Right.
And that, to me, sort of does hold me back a little bit about this movie.
Agreed.
Because outside of a Tarantino universe, when characters talk like Tarantino, it feels forced. It feels strange to me.
Because it's his script.
Well, yeah, it is his script, yes. And but Tarantino, Pulp Fiction has a tone to it that where people talk like that, everybody talks
Everyone
like that.
talks because it's a universe.
It feels normal.
Right.
When you take that out of that universe and you put it into a different universe, it feels like people are talking like Quentin Tarantino.
It's like, or you're having a conversation with somebody who knows Tarantino. We have Tarantino at home.
True romance is the Tarantino you have at home.
But it's still a good. Overall it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
much like a great generic. It is the Thing. It just doesn't have the name.
That's it. There it is. Precisely. Yes. So what do we have coming up down the pipeline?
So
then?
we have an option, and I want to state that there's an option, multiple options for next week, but the one I prefer is the Scorsese movie,
which is
The Age of Innocence.
Oh, is it Winona?
I'm not sure who's in it. I know it's Scorsese. I've not seen it. This is one of the rare Scorsese movies I don't think I've ever seen. Or if I did see it, I saw it, in 93, and I've not gone back to it.
Okay.
But your other options are Striking Distance, starring Bruce Willis.
I'm already saying no to that one.
Sarah Jessica Parker is in it.
It sounds like a man's movie that I'm not interested in. It sounds like the big dick.
Okay, let me pitch you another movie. So, a kid from Los Angeles is sent by his parents to Cincinnati. And instead of surfing now, he's going to learn how to rollerblade competitively at his high school. And it's called Airborne.
Is Rob Schneider in it?
No, I don't think so. Jack Black's in it.
Oh, baby Jack Black.
Baby Jack Black.
Wow.
Baby Jack Black, who was also in this movie, got cut out.
In The Age of Innocence?
No, this movie we watched True Romance. Jack Black was in True Romance, got cut out. His role was cut out.
It's probably for the best. He probably would have gotten killed.
I didn't even see what he would be.
Remind me when I show you the X-Files, because he does an episode of the X-Files, and it's pretty fucking awesome. Well, okay, so there's that. Those are our two options then. Airborne
or The Age of Innocence.
I really think I'm looking at. We've got Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, Winona Ryder, Richard E. Grant. I mean, that's a pretty stellar cast for Age of Innocence.
I'm just worried that it's going to be homework.
And that Miriam Margolyes is in it. Oh shit. Robert Sean Leonard. Jesus. Okay, I guess we're watching this.
All right, Age of Innocence.
It
is. Yeah.
So do your homework before you listen, because we might fall asleep during this one.
But you get let me give you the 2 weeks out from now.
I'm ready.
Are you ready for your options being The Good Son, with evil Macaulay Culkin?
Oh, no.
The Program, starring James Caan, which is about football.
Okay.
Warlock Armageddon.
Interesting.
Or, and then you're probably going to pick this one, Dazed and Confused.
Come on, dude! Fuzzy has to see Dazed and Confused.
All right,
it's a fucking classic. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Dazed and Confused?
I have not.
Ben Affleck's in it. Matthew McConaughey is his most famous part. You may have seen people refer to McConaughey's meme, I guess, the memification of Matthew McConaughey.
When he says,
I like those high school girls. I get older, they stay the same age.
It's so gross. But it's a great fucking movie. And the soundtrack, gorgeous.
So whenever somebody like describes Matthew McConaughey just saying, all right, that's this movie.
Yeah.
That's where this came
Yeah, there's a lot you're going to lift
Yeah.
from this where you're going to be like, yeah, okay.
from. Ben Affleck's asshole phase.
He's such a dick in this
Such
movie.
a prick.
You're going to love it. And it's a funny movie. So you're going to watch, you're not going to like...
That's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, stoner comedy. Good times.
All right, so The Age of Innocence and Dazed and Confused are coming up.
Woohoo! I thought that was the end.
You got to make it weird, don't you?
I got to take little Robbie into my bedroom and talk about Gary Oldman.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Me and Jim are gonna leave.
If you call him Daddy, I swear
Daddy!
to